Okay, hello, we meet again. Alright, so previously we already know how to sketch the graph of the area of y equals to square root of x between this limit. Okay, so we have the rotation axis of x-axis and we want to generate a solid so then we can find a volume later. Alright, so let us use another whiteboard here. Okay, let's say I already extract a few information there, which is we have our curve and we have our limit there, and we are going to rotate our area about the x-axis. So here I already draw for you again the graph, and we already obtain the area is the shaded region there is present the value of your area. So we are going to rotate the area about x-axis. So this is your rotation axis. Okay. So in exam, just make sure you draw your rotation axis so that I aware that we are going to rotate it on the x-axis or y-axis there. So basically here, the next step, we are going to use the slicing method. Okay, so on now we need to think on how to slice this area. So we have two ways of slicing it, whether we are going to slice it on the vertical part by using a vertical mode, or you can try to slice it by using a horizontal mode. Either we are going to slice it vertically or we are going to slice it horizontally. So in order for us to determine that on how the method of slicing works, okay, let us go back to our slide. So here we can see that we are going to slice it based on the part here, the graph that we have here. So if we want to slice it based on x-axis, our rotation is on the part of x-axis, we are going to use a vertical slice. Why we use a vertical slice? Because it says that method of slicing is actually depends on the rotation axis. If our rotation axis is x-axis, it must be perpendicular with it. So x is going to be vertical slice. If we deal with rotation on y-axis, it will be a horizontal slice. So let's go back into our main graph. So here we are going to use the x-axis part. So when we have x-axis, the rotation is on x-axis. Rotate about rotation. So our part of slicing should be perpendicular. So which is it will be vertical slice. So now we are going to slice our graph there. So let me use the green color pen here. So we are going to slice it vertically. It can be anywhere as long it is within this area. Okay, as long it is within the shaded area there. So let's say I want to take somewhere here. This is our slicing part. Okay, let's try to make it thick. Okay, so here method of slicing should be perpendicular with the rotation axis. Okay, now imagine that we are going to rotate the slicing part here based on the x-axis. So we are going to get another image at the bottom here. So let me draw it. So let me draw the image in a dotted color or dotted line. So we are going to have another image of this part somewhere here at the bottom, and we are going to have another slicing here. So if we see the rotation axis there, it will actually generate a big circle. So here, once we get the once we generate the circle, so let's try to put a circle somewhere there. Okay, of course we are going to have our center there. So from here to here, we call it as our radius. From the center towards the circle there. So from here to here, we can see this is radius. So here we can call it as our radius. So let me use another pen for it. So from this part to this part, we can call it as R. Okay, let us see the formula that we are going to use. So in order for us to find a volume, it should be the integration from a limit of a to b, the lower limit to the upper limit of your ax dx, because we try to rotate about x-axis, so we are going to use ax. So here we have a shape of a circle. So as we know, in order for us to find area of circle, we are going to use the formula of pi r square. So since we already know the value of r here is radius, and it represents the value from here to here, so we can say that our equation now, we are going to change it into value of a and b pi r x, r in terms of x, power of 2 dx, where now we are going to write our equation of r in terms of x. So in order to obtain the value of r, we are going to start from the upper part here and the value of this one. So in order to get this value, we are going to minus it, the upper part and the lower part here, ul. So in order to find the value of r, it should be u minus l. So the value of u here represented by square root of x. As you can see that the value of u is equals to square root of x, and the value here represented by the value somewhere here, which is y equals to 0. So here the value should be 0. So r here can be represented by square root of x minus 0. Therefore r is equals to square root of x. So you can now substitute or replace the value of square root of x into this equation, which is, it will be the equation of integration. Since pi here is constant, you may put it outside. The value of r here, rx now is equals to the square root of x power of 2. So you are going to get it as a power of 2 dx. And now our equation on the x-axis is sliced from 0 to 4. So we are going to put it as 0 and 4. Okay, this is how do we set up the integrals of a volume. Basically, you need to find the value of your radius first, and then just replace it into the equation. So now it's time for us to solve it. So you are going to get here pi square root and power of 2. You can cancel it out, so it will be still 0 and 4 x dx. So you can use the basic techniques of integral, which is you are going to get pi x power of 2 over 2, 4 and 0. So this is 1 over 2, you can put it outside, so it will become pi over 2, and here it will be x squared 4 and 0. So we can just substitute the value since I don't have space here, so let me continue somewhere here. So we are going to get pi over 2, and then we are going to replace the value. We are going to substitute 4 first into x, so it will be 4 power of 2 minus with then 0, replace into x, so it will be 0 power of 2. So then you are going to get 16 pi over 2, try to simplify it. So 16 divided by 2, it will be 8 pi. So since we're calculating the value of volume, it will be cube unit. Okay, so this is on how to obtain the value of volume. So please remember the step, which is you need to sketch graph. This is the most important part. So in order for us to be able to sketch a graph, you need to know the basic graph that we learn in mathematics 1. Then use the formula of integrals ax dx, which is you are supposed to find the limit of this part, and then solve for the integral. Okay, so it requires you to apply all these steps. So we are going to see the next example on how to find the volume, but in a y variable. Okay, so see you next week.